computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Landslide victory for the Green Goblin. Good morning. Good morning. Looks like I'm on the internet. There we go. How's it going? How's it going? 9-1. Should be fun. Goblins and devils. Yeah, I should have saved this for Halloween. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Yo. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Kurt. I'm a comic book colorist. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today we're coloring Goblin first, it looks like. Now this is drawn by Maan House, who I am collaborating with on the Nightfall, the Cemetarians, which I love that name. The Cemetarians story for the Nightfall horror book that we're doing. And of course, I'm just taking a break from getting paid to color to come here and color for free. There's nothing wrong with me at all. Not at all. But yeah, no, he posted these on Twitter the other day, and I'm like, dude, you need to send me all of these, and I will eventually probably get to all of them. Excuse me. But anyway, should be fun. And I don't think these will take very long. I mean, we'll see. But that's my theory. So, doing well. All right, good. So, let's put I'm going to start just to put a base color here. And that's on a transparent layer. I'm actually going to go ahead, I think, and let me block off these gutters first. Oh, that one is not. There we go. Hold down shift, make straight lines. Maybe this thing is straight. Hopefully the drawing is straight. It looks to be. And I haven't thought about a color scheme for this like at all. I'm probably not going to flat this. I don't think it needs it. But we'll see. So his colors are purple and green, which are already pretty complementary-ish. So I'm thinking, I mean, if we're going with like his local colors, which I guess we should. Maybe we start with like something like that, which sort of splits the difference between the purple and the green. I'll have my handy dandy color wheel over here, so I'll tell you guys what I'm thinking. So if he's gonna be purple and green, it's like which way can I go? I could also go orange. Let me not draw. All of my color theory plans end up looking very phallic, unintentionally. But yeah. But if his colors live here and here, it's like where else can we go in the background to get different colors? You know, we can go out to the warm side. We could get more saturated out here. We could go toward gray. We could do whatever we want there. But I'm gonna start with that, and I think I'm gonna just color this the way I've been coloring our book, which is very watercolory, because that's what you think when you think of a goblin demon guy. It's some lovely watercolors. Hey Jason, how's it going? Did you change your YouTube name? But yeah, maybe we do go like, what if we go way out here? Maybe we'll try that. If it's wrong, if it doesn't work, we'll we'll get rid of it. I probably should. I'm gonna at least. I think I'm gonna just select his outline. I don't think I'll flat all of this, but I do want a nice, clean silhouette. I don't have to worry about edges very much. But how's everybody doing? Everybody good? You guys all right? If you have questions about anything at any point, let me know. Where did that end? There we go. Oh, also, End After End is out today. Is out today. I'm getting myself tongue tied. But yeah, End After End is out. Number 1 is out today, which I'm excited about. I've been working on this book for a while, and so like normal people can just go get it now, which is always a little terrifying. I don't want to interrupt this stream, but we don't have to discuss this now. But will you be posting anything on the new CSP pricing? There's really not enough people talking about that, is there? I should inform everybody about that, right? No, I'm probably not gonna. I'm gonna wait on this to calm down. All right. So like, I am not one of those. Oh, this is the hot topic. Let me make a YouTube video about this. That's not really been my style. I like to wait until things are well, settled down. But I think if you don't know, very briefly, because if you've been on the internet and have artist friends, you already know. But very briefly, because I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but yeah, very briefly, Clip Studio is moving toward a sort of I would say it's a subscription model, but it's not that straightforward even. But they're getting away from the one-time purchases for and complicate. Where did the end of this thing go? There it is. But yeah, they're getting away from their pay once and don't worry about it model. Why is nothing? There we go. I was like, why is nothing doing what I want it to do? I'm not even going to show this color. I want that to be there. And then let's invert that and delete that and make that a different color. There. So now I've got that underneath here, and I'm going to lock that so I don't accidentally paint on it. But yeah, so the whole internet's blown up. Everybody's talking about it. Discord's everywhere. Everyone's upset. I honestly think it'll all be okay. I think they honestly have. Well, they could use some better PR writers or technical writers, or I don't even know what it is. It's not my industry, but the people that explain things to people there need. I mean, I'm sure there's even like there's some, maybe, I don't know if there's stuff lost in translation. Like I really don't know. They've always felt very disconnected to me, like just in general, and so it's a little tone deaf. It's a lot of things. I don't know. I think it's going to be all right, because between the backlash and what I'm honestly believing is probably some miscommunication. I don't use Clip Studio's updates. Like you guys see, here's my setup is very complex. I use a brush and a lasso. And what else? And a magic wand. And That's it. Some adjustment layers every now and then, some blending modes. Like, so they're gonna put out fancy new stuff, and I'm not gonna probably need to worry about it. Like, I don't know, and I think that's the way a lot of people work. So I don't know. We're gonna see. I'm gonna hold judgment on this until we get like a follow up. Now, if the follow up like completely doubles down and nope, this is exactly what we meant, and screw all you guys, then like, okay, well, maybe. But I don't know. I think, and I know this will come as a massive shock to you, but I think it's possible that Twitter may have slightly overreacted, which, I mean, that would never happen. You know, that Twitter would overreact to anything. But I do think it's possible that this is all going to work out okay. What's the plan for the people who've already bought it? I don't think it's going to really change anything. You still got access to your version, and as long as it works with your computer, like, I think that's pretty much it. I don't know. I'm just kind of roughing in some stuff right now. I don't know if I like this or not yet, but I'm going to figure that out before I'm done. But yeah, I'm just not counting I'm not, what's the phrase? I'm not counting any chickens yet or anything. Like, I'm just, let's see what happens. Because I honestly imagine they're going to come back and be like, look, this is the same thing, except we made it more complex with extra steps. And it sounds like we're nickeling and diming you, but it's really not that bad. That's my guess. Sorry, I could have kept this on Discord. No, it's no big deal, man. I mean, you think we weren't going to talk about that today at some point? Like, 4 other people are going to come in and ask me about that before the end of the stream, at minimum. So, no, you're good, man. I appreciate you watching. I know you're around quite a bit, so. I do remember names pretty well. I might not remember what we talked about or what we did or whatever, but I can at least remember names. But yeah, I'm trying to let I've really been trying to do better about trying to blend colors more and not work so solidly, and so that's part of the reason why I've been like doing this sort of washy thing on this book, because like, I don't know, I'm kind of fascinated by the fact that, like, you know, he looks like he's getting toward green and purple here, but if you look at the colors, the green is like a middle saturation yellow, and the purple is a desaturated orange, if you actually pick the color. And you know, would I have jumped to those colors? No. But I'm liking how these things are. I like how they blend and how they look. So it's a little bit more natural look to it. Might as well go ahead and fill. Oh, is that locked? No, it's not. But yeah, like, it feels like it's done, right? That's all it needs. It could be. It could be. Yeah, man's work is awesome. Like, you really could just do sort of anything to me, and it's gonna look all right. So, like, yellow is complementary to purple, and complementary-ish, and then what am I trying to say? orange is close to that. That's the extent of my thought here for this background at this point. Oh, and the red and green. Like if I start, like orange is heading toward red from yellow, and so even that is complementary with the green. And so if he's purple and green, then having a background that's really complementary is going to really pull this forward quite a bit. Finally read Money Shot. It's a really good book and really topical. Thank you. I think to this day it's still my favorite thing that I've done, like personally. I don't know if we're supposed to have favorites. They're like, you know, like your kids or whatever, but no, Money Shot was such a fun book. Man, it was a fun book. So, what do I want to do next? I think we're gonna do like a hard light layer, and I think we want to get down here, and I'm gonna start sort of taking some of these shadows, almost like I don't want to mess up too much in the way of like his shadows versus the light, because obviously like that's really working. I don't want to really change these shapes very much, you know what I mean? So what I'm doing is following pretty closely with his plan here. The only problem with that is I can't color pick well, I guess I could. I really have liked, yeah, I don't know if I want to do this on hard light layer. I think I'm just going to do this on the normal layer. Because I got so used to just picking colors as opposed to like, what do you call it? Like relying on blending modes to get those colors. That I've sort of really liked the process of just painting on one layer. But I'm glad you liked it though, man. Like the things we had to do in that book to make the politicians seem crazy, we really had to turn things up to like, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, you know, like 40, to make sure that they were actually crazier than the politicians on TV in real life. That was so when you see people like, you know, waving flags around and like punching pregnant people, it's like, yeah, that's how far we had to go. Oh man, but no, it was super fun, man. Really fun. I don't know if you guys are hearing this thunder. I apologize, but what do I want to do here? Let's go a little darker, a little redder. Where's that guy that used to come in here and always ask me to do something with warm shadows? I mean, I do it all the time, but one guy would come in and kept asking, do warm shadows. I don't understand warm shadows. Well, here you go, buddy. I really could leave this pretty flat, but I think I just want to render it up just for fun. Paolo, it's okay to have a favorite kid, just don't show it. Emotionally damaged thing. That is true. That is true. Do I have a Discord? Can I join it, or is it for patrons only or something? There is a Discord, and you can join. I don't know if anybody else can make invites on my Discord, but I'll make you one real quick. There are paid areas, like if you want feedback from me in the live class every month, that does require a YouTube membership or a patron, either one. But I'll send this. Let's see. Good. I'm gonna have this expire like in a day, so don't wait around. And generate new link, copy. There we go. But yeah, lots of fellow coloring nerds in there. Yeah, it really is a good place to get your questions answered. Even I get my questions answered there. If I get stuck on some technical problem or whatever, we had some people discussing some pretty in-depth print issues yesterday, so I learn a lot myself in there. And let's see, let's go a little bit brighter. Just right there. Maybe. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna leave the shadows, I think, sort of loosey-goosey, and then really tighten up on the like specular highlights and whatnot, and that'll bring out a lot of perceived detail. This looks like Green Goblin's headshot for acting auditions. Yeah, he's trying to get into the MCU. That's it. He's like, that's where all the money is. His eyes, I guess it depends on. When I was a kid and he was being drawn by Sal Buscema, his eyes were white, I'm pretty sure. But are they always white, or are they ever? They're already basically white. Yeah, some people do yellow. Yellow would look good. Yellow would probably look better. I know basically nothing about coloring. I am a beginner with art in general, but I like learning. Well, I think you've come to the right place. We'll definitely leave his teeth nice and yellow. As a There's a pro tip for you in there somewhere. Yeah, like eyes very often look weird if you make the whites white. Like same with teeth. Like have them lean a little bit toward the color of the environment. They don't have to be all the way to white. I'm trying colors out here. Hold on. Maybe something like that. Can you see images in your mind? I know some people can't think that way, but I'm not sure how that would work for artists. Yes. Yeah. I don't have a photographic memory, but I've got something, man. I've got something that, like, when it comes to images, it's like I don't really know how to describe it. I do think I have some. I think I have some unique superpowers when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like I don't forget. Like not even really just like details in image, but like things like composition and like rough colors, and like I might not even know what the drawing is, but like I don't forget some things when it comes to like I have very strong like visual whatever that wherever that stuff is. Like spatial stuff, like all that I always did really well with that kind of stuff. Which you know, what came first, you know, the art skills or that, you know, I don't know. But like I'll look at something like this. That's why I don't do a ton of detailed like sketches. It's like I usually will just scribble something if I do anything at all, because I've kind of I can see pretty clearly what I want to do. But I've also been drawing since I was born, so like I'm sure that has something to do with it. But I came across a Reddit thread a while back about that, and it was kind of fascinating to me that people that it turned into this big discussion. I'm like, wait, when you say you see things in your mind, like you guys actually see things, you know? And it was just like, you know, half the people there had no idea what they were talking about. The other half's like, wait, you can't imagine pictures? Like, you know, like that's one of those things that I don't know if we completely understand. And I don't even like it's hard to talk about because we don't really have a shared like language for that, you know? You have a photographic memory, but all the photographs are low res JPEGs. There you go. All of my memories are transparent PNGs. Yeah, that's what it is. I got these new brushes a couple weeks ago. KRUPUK. That was the name of the set. I don't know if it's the person or the set or what it is, but they're like watercolor brushes. They're the best when it comes to like pressure sensitivity. I don't know how to adjust all this crap, so if I get a brush and the pressure sensitivity doesn't work very well, I just end up not using it. Because I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to like I never got good with like brush stuff. But yeah, I like found some brushes that like, yeah, I like these. They do what I'm expecting. That's really all that's what I want. I think next week we're gonna do something a little different from usual. We're gonna start. I'm gonna start learning some animation stuff in Clip Studio, and I think I want to make. You guys know those like, well, we were listening to one as I came in, but those like lo-fi music channels on YouTube. They have like the animation of like some, alien that's like bobbing their head or something. Like I want to try to make one of those and learn a little bit about the animation in Clip, because I've determined that this project that I need to get out into the world, I don't think I can do it not moving. I think it's gonna have to be animated. It'll be short, obviously. Like I'm not gonna do like a Pixar movie or anything, but it's just gonna be if I can make a minute of this eventually, I'll be happy. But it'll be fun. I think we'll learn some stuff, and it'll let me talk about all the things that I like to talk about, framing and cinematography and composition and all that stuff. Anyway, so what if his eyes are like super saturated? That's what this thing's been missing. I'm like, why does this look like crap? I'm like, oh, okay. There's no saturation anywhere. He looks like Ozzy. I only recently learned there are people who don't have an inner voice. Oh man, that's another one. I mean, I don't know how much I want to talk about that. I've got some real weird personal stuff I've been figuring out about that myself. But yeah, I'm trying to narrow down the voices in my head at the moment to just me. We'll put it that way. It's a publicity shot for his cover band Green Sabbath. There you go. If I listen to good music, I see entire movies in my head. Dude, like my dreams are like directed by Christopher Nolan. All right? I mean, with cinematography, with music, with dramatic lighting, like it's weird, man. It's weird. I'm gonna switch to a pencil that I like for some of these details. And also, I'm gonna copy this canvas over here so we can do that. There we go. Hope maybe I won't zoom in and out as much. Probably not, but yeah, I've been figuring out a lot of really well, it's a lot of really personal stuff, but it's I've been doing a lot of therapy work, I guess you could say, on being present and in the moment, and sort of realizing that, what do you call it? I don't even know. I don't really have the vocabulary to even talk about this stuff right now. I'm still figuring it out. But But yeah, I've found out most of my life I've been. I don't mean this the way some of y'all are going to take it. I don't mean on YouTube at all, but performing, just performing for someone, you know. I don't want to get into a whole lot of detail on that. I'll let you work figure that out. But even performing for myself, and you know, coming to terms with the fact that I'm not actually under surveillance all the time. Has been very useful. I have several inner voices. Yeah, I think a lot of us do. Not having inner voice sounds pretty peaceful. Yeah. The few points where I've been able to just be alone in my head is pretty it does feel pretty awesome. Hard for me to get there. But I'm sorry I'm being really cryptic about all this, but it's all pretty fresh at the moment. Well, it'll be in the book at some point. I don't know who that guy is, Jason. You say as 41 people watch you work. Yeah, I don't mean that I'm putting on. Yeah, you guys are seeing you know, an actor here or anything. It's nothing that serious. I've always tried to keep my YouTube persona as pretty much as close to me as I can possibly get. I'm just figuring out that I'm also trying to figure that out personally. If you want to calm your inner mind, meditate, it sounds stupid to say. No, it's not stupid at all. I have delved quite a bit into a lot of that lately. Meditation, yoga, and learning about how other how Eastern cultures, you know, figured out a whole lot of stuff a long time ago, and I feel like all we've done is overcomplicate it. It's hard to make money in meditation, so you know we can't encourage that too much. I think that's the old American capitalism healthcare right there. It's like, wait, this is useful and free. Ooh, no, let's make fun of that. No, it's honestly it's the focus. It's the main focus of my book that I want to make is just trying to cross those two worlds, you know, of like hardcore, like real anatomy, physiology, how things are wired up, with you know, the concepts of like chakras and chi and all that. Like it's all just, I think it's all really directly connected. And also learning that what would I call it? That you can't really separate the physical from the mental. Also, just emotions are a thing, and they're okay to feel. So yeah, welcome to Self-Help with Kurt. So I want this. How about a coloring tip? How about that? You guys want that? So even on something like a hand, there are planes here, like not airplanes, but you know, foreground, middle ground, background. So like if I want his hands to be on his fingers on a plane in front of his palm, so it looks like they're coming forward, I don't want his palm to be the same colors. So I'm darkening this a little bit, and that's letting those greens and yellows and whatnot come forward here. In a weird way, I feel like I've done a lot and also haven't done anything, because I don't know if this needed any of me at all. I just don't know if it was necessary. Yeah, his work is so strong. I have trouble meditating, dude. Like everybody does. Like when, I mean, all you need to know to understand that is to look at TikTok. I don't have the TikTok app. I've never downloaded it, but you can't avoid it. I mean, seeing stuff from it and videos on the internet or whatever, but like, you know, our attention spans are just fried, man. They're just totally fried. And so do I want this? I'm trying to decide if I want to do much in the way of texture on this helmet. And if so, what in the hell color should it be? All the colors I'm picking, I don't know if I like them or not. It's not orange. Is it orange? Hold on, let me see if I can figure this out. So if I'm starting, where am I starting? It's not even purple. So we're starting here on the base color, and the green, which is not really that green either. So it's like yellow green. So his skin is like here ish. And it's moving toward yellow going this way. So if I want this to also get pulled in that direction, then it is sort of a orangey, believe it or not. Yeah. I think that made sense. Yeah, that works. Been a while. Great to catch a live stream again. Oh, hey, Simon. How's it going? Welcome, man. Good to see you again. And for the light on the mask, have you gone from green to red on the color wheel because of the reddish background? For the light on the mask, have you gone from green to red? Oh, you mean like the warm shadows? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, like I'm wanting the. I was wanting warm shadows because the background's mostly warm. Although, like, it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, you can do whatever you want, of course. But, like, yeah, that's kind of what that was my theory. Yeah, the more purple comes through, the more I don't like it. Like this is, it's like it's a warm green, it's a warm background, and even the purple is really desaturated because we're pulling it across the color wheel. So basically, get rid of that for a second. If his skin is, and again, I didn't start with this base color, but let's say his skin is green. Well, if I want to pull the color warmer toward like an orange light, you're traveling across the middle of the color wheel where it's a lot less saturated. And it's kind of the same thing with the purples. Like the purples are all going across toward the yellows and oranges, which means they are passing through the desaturated part of the color wheel. I literally, I mean, I've had like an academic understanding of this for quite a while, but like it wasn't until I was working on some pages from, I'll bring them up. I don't think have I shown these on stream? Well, I colored some of them on stream. I don't think I colored this particular page on stream, but I'm really trying to use, what would you call it? Use saturation with the same amount of ease that I use value. So like this is a page from this book that Man and I are working on. It's called The Cemetarians. It's part of a book called the Nightfall double feature that Vault's doing. And like, but this was the page that, or maybe even the page before, that this kind of clicked with me. I think maybe it was the previous page. But basically, like, and I think I talked about this in the live class this month, but like his skin tones are, if I pull this over here, like, so his skin tone here is like a really desaturated purple. Okay, so it's like right here on the color wheel. I'll make it brighter so we can see. So like here's his skin, and it leans warm, like it's all kind of in this area. So if I'm adding a warm light, because the whole background is blue and I wanted a little bit of warmth on the character outside of his skin, I'm like, well, if I wanted to add a little bit of warm light that's just leaning warm, you know, it's not bright yellow, it's not an orange, it's not a red, but it's leaning warm. Well, to lean warm, again, you're going across the color wheel. So these highlights on him were painted with like perfectly gray, and I've never figured out a way to do that made any sense to me until I got to this page. And I don't have any other, I think this page has more examples on it, but yeah, like if you look at it in the color wheel, and I did put a little bit of a warm overlay just to warm up his face across that band of red across faces, but like we're starting from like a, you know, really desaturated dark purple, and we're basically moving closer and closer to what is almost 50% gray. And so like that completely broke my brain temporarily when I suddenly did this, and I'm like, wait a minute. But it just, a lot of things started making a lot more sense to me then, because basically in the same way that you would, like, you know, pick a dark value, let me get a faster brush, hold on. So like if I pick a darker value, it's very easy to think about just getting brighter and brighter to, like, you know, to a point to like draw attention to something. But you can do the same thing if I get like a deep saturated color and just go across the color wheel toward gray. I'm not getting any brighter, but I'm still getting enough contrast to create an interesting focal point. That what's interesting is this actually feels warm because it's surrounded by warm colors outside of the blue. And so I'm trying to get into a habit more of using saturation as strongly as I'm using value. Does that make sense? Things are either phallic or something else, huh? Oh man. Anyway, does that make sense at all? I've been doing transcendental meditation for 10 years. Used to not be hard, having a lot more trouble since the pandemic. I can see that. Probably feeling disconnected in general will do that. I would imagine, but I am no expert on that. Let's see. Hold on. Does not wear glasses. I do wear. I can't see anything without. I wear contacts a lot, but I put my contacts in today and they weren't working properly. It's hard. I don't know. I don't know what that was. Part of me wants to just stop. Like I don't feel like there's anything else I need to add to this. Maybe we could do a little bit of I say we, I mean me. A little bit more details on his costume. Even that feels like a little much. Well, it was a color cake, but now it's color I don't think I can say on YouTube. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I know what I think I need to do with this. I'm going to select all of that I missed earlier. I think I want to offset the saturated eyes. I don't want them to be the only thing that color on the canvas. So I'm adding a little bit of that to the bottom, so you end up with sort of like a shape pointing to his eyes. I'm just touching this up a little bit of close to white just to bring out the very like tips of all of these specular highlights in here. Have Daredevil and Green Goblin had significant interactions? I don't know. I don't recall any, but I'm really not. I am nowhere near an expert on a lot of books. Like if it's not Spider-Man and X-Men, I don't know what's going on. You know what? Is this his shoulder? And did I just color that wrong? I think it might be. So I'm wondering what else that could be. don't know. I'm thinking though that I like what I did. And I think I'm just gonna push this back a little bit. Actually, it comes forward more than I think I want it to. Maybe that is his shoulder. Whoops, wrong layer. You lose the silhouette a little bit. I'm gonna leave that like it was, I think. Let's try this Daredevil. I'll come back to that. I got a pop-up. What is this? Now would be... Oh, yeah. Now would be a good time to insert ads. Creators earn more money inserting ads the more viewers are watching. Give it a try. So I got 50 people watching. I'm going to play an ad and make, what, 5 cents? And then... and then upset 50 people. Is it worth it? I'm thinking not. You know what? Before I get over to Daredevil, I want to just put levels adjustment on this and crank it up a little bit. Yeah, that's the problem. That feels better. Let me try this Daredevil, see what happens. Namesh, you have not missed Daredevil. It is all, we're doing Daredevil now. We could have a Halloween themed group: Green Goblin, Daredevil, Black Cat, Spider-Man. There you go. That's a part of his hat. It is a part of his hat. It's the other side of this. Of course it is. Okay. No, that makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Thank you. I'm like, what is that? It's not. Yeah. I'm a professional, people. Thank you. That's the kind of backseating I don't mind. If I'm just completely stumped on something, feel free. But it's the people that came in like that guy last week. You know, his head should be smaller. You should do his feet a little. Stop it. Oh, I hate that stuff. Always wondered how you could light and shade with drawings more heavily rendered. Cool to see the process. Thank you, Ren. Appreciate that. All right. So, Daredevil. I do feel like... Yeah, I think I know what we want to do here. I'm working on a piece and trying to deselect a whole layer from my selection, but it won't work. Deselect a whole layer from your selection. So like, so yeah, if I select all, and you see the little marching ants going around, everything is selected. If you hold down, what are these buttons? If I have to look at them, I don't know. Control and Alt, or what is that? If you're on the other kind of Control or Command, an Alt or Option, maybe, and then click the picture. It is removing the inks, which these are on a transparent layer, so it's removing from that layer. So that should work. Like where you don't allow the shadows when rendering light. Are your shadows on a layer by themselves with nothing else on them? Is there any, like, no paper, no nothing? It should just be your shadows. I don't know then. I haven't heard of that problem. You know, something I meant to say earlier about the Clip Studio situation. If they would have been able to show anything about, you know, the features in version 2 that are going to make you want to buy it, that would have helped. It's like, here, we're going to make things worse, but not show you anything positive. Like, I wouldn't have led with that if it were me. I'm just going to do a quick outline on him. I'm not going to flat all of this separately. But I know he's going to be red. So starting with like something on the other side of the color wheel seemed like a good place to start. It just depends on the tone you want, like how you want it to feel. It's like it could feel like maybe we'll do it. Can we do it 2 different ways? Would that make sense? I'm too close to this. Where am I going? Let's see. Here we go. What software are you using now? This is Clip Studio Paint Pro. I'm probably going to have to buy the... I'm going to wait and see first. They give you 24 frames to work with. I'm on the wrong... Dang it, I'm on the wrong line. Let's try that again. I really just was way too close to the thing. I got lost. I've been subscribed to Microsoft Word for 7 years and barely use it. Yeah, I wouldn't be paying for any of that stuff. Like, I use Google Drive for all of my word processing needs. I'm not going to do full flats on this if you're just joining. I know how much you guys freaking hate watching flats. The YouTube analytics prove it out, but I'm just going to do an outline on him to separate him from the background. That's going to be it. So I won't be flatting for like half an hour. Let me go ahead and close this off before I lose this selection. The fact that everything in V2 is description based soured my mood. Hope Clip finds a way to compromise. I really wish I could have been a fly on the wall when, like, somebody on my Discord mentioned that, like, you know, normally they post stuff on... I don't go to Facebook unless my wife says, go look at this on Facebook. You know, their posts on Facebook get, you know, 20 people or, you know, saying something about it or whatever. Maybe. And there were like 800 comments on that were all completely reasonable. But no, boy, yeah, people are mad. Big mad. Yeah, when you get like everybody riled up to get a Verge article or whatever, like you may have messed up. All right. Wait, did I miss? Yeah, I did. All right. Is that everything? This is how you know you got a good drawing, because like even this looks cool. It's like, oh, he outlined it and changed the color. Oh, whoops. I tried to warn y'all about the subscription thing. Somebody around here remembers. I know. I've been saying it for a year or two. I'm like, guys, it's coming. It's coming. Within a year, I've said that. Like, because everything is going to be subscription based. Like, you want air to breathe? Here's your subscription for air. My internet is acting wonky and the video keeps stopping and buffering. I'm going to leave now to avoid it driving me insane. Enjoy the rest of the stream. All right, man. Sorry about that. Have you tried turning it off and on again? They knew people were going to be mad, but they knew in the end they would still make more money. They don't care about internet outrage. Yeah, most people don't. I mean, usually it's a vocal minority, but I feel like this was like half the art internet was talking about it. Alrighty. What if he's not red? What if everything else is red? We're just trying stuff. We're just trying stuff. Good enough. Stream over. It really does. Sorry. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. If not for anything, just to make it interesting. for me, I mean, the piece is interesting enough. I don't mean that. No, let's try that. Why not? I'm just trying stuff, guys. Boy, that brush is slow. All this stuff looks pretty cool. Like, none of it looks, you know, that's what I mean. Like, his art just, I really like his art. Make him black, call him Batman. Make him hot neon pink. I don't know if everything works. Especially not on a red and green background. Yeah, green highlights on red. Should be interesting. Let's see what happens. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and color his eye. Because that will, that way if anybody is coming through here looking at, I don't know if I like it. Is that the bottom? Is that his eye or is that the bottom of his lid? Hold on. Oh, I don't think that's his eye. Which is even cooler. Have you seen She-Hulk? Hulk and She-Hulk fought reminded me of a comic from great John Namor. I haven't watched it yet. Are there comic characters? I do want to see it. It looks like it's going to be interesting, at minimum. This is like a blender brush that came in this set. It's got a great, like, kind of watery texture to it. There's nothing I hate more than, like, digital smudging. It's like, it's very obvious to me, and I don't like the way it looks. So I try to avoid that. Why is there nothing coming out of my brush? Oh, because I'm on the smudger. Dang, I do that every time I switch to it. I forget that I switch to it. Whoa, that was too dark. I wish there was a little bit more control with how Clip handles the straight lines. I think Procreate does a better job with that. It's like if you want to draw a straight line, it doesn't necessarily like go straight to like full opacity or whatever. Like you can actually kind of massage that a little bit. I don't want this to be too clean. Are there comic characters whose color scheme you really like? There are probably more that I think like clash horribly than than like I don't know if I've ever thought about that exactly. That's interesting. Um, but like you know, all the old school, like, and I know this is like sacrilege, but all of the old school, like, uh anything with a lot of purple and green and yellow and like all these, just like back in the day, a lot of those characters just had insanely um just crazy color schemes. I really like this look together. I mean, it's a cliche color scheme, but I haven't worked in this kind of look where you're really just rendering with the exact complement. It's a well, learning experience. Yeah, I just don't know a whole lot about She-Hulk. I don't have any strong opinions about that character. So, I mean, I'll probably like the show because I have zero expectations. I know that she's Bruce's cousin, and she's strong, and she has better control of her ability. That's like the extent of my knowledge of She-Hulk history. I'm just looking at what colors are ending up in here. This is how I study, guys, by the way. It's like, I'm like, okay, this is red, and this is greenish, and the middle colors are heading across orange and yellow. It really helps me to visualize this stuff, to understand color is all about relationships. Like every choice you make is about the relationship of the choice you're making against whatever's around it. You know what I mean? And so understanding that will make you a better colorist. So like if you don't understand why this is happening, again, like go to your color wheel, get you one of these color wheels, and we've got greens and we've got reds, and we're traveling through here. And so that's why you're ending up with, when you blend those two, I mean, you can blend them through the cool side, or you can blend them through the warm side. So I'm blending them through the warm end of the spectrum, and you have to pass through yellow and orange to get there. The problem with, and I say this every week just about, but the problem is people think of the color wheel as this thing that goes around the edge. This color wheel makes so much more sense of color to me. A lot of the early character palettes were coded. Yeah, primary for heroes, secondary for villains. You're gonna go with yellow for the eyes. I don't believe that that is his eye. I think that's the bottom of his. It might be. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong. It reads to me like. Let me look at this in black and white again. It's totally possible that I'm wrong about this. But I don't think I am. I think that's where his eye is. Because the bottom, like the way the anatomy goes, I don't think I'm misreading this. So like the orbit of the eye is doing this. And you can think of the eyeball as sort of floating behind that. But this lid comes down, and then this lid goes up. I don't think that's his eye. It's his lower lid. I might be wrong about that. I have been wrong before. You are right. Awesome. Good to know. So, if I want, let me merge this down. If I want to add a second, see the highlights on this, quote unquote highlights on this, are not very bright. And I'm thinking if they're yellowish, I think that's what this needs. Let me see. Yeah, I think I like that. It's on a different layer in case I chicken out. This is going to be really subtle though. I don't want to do a whole lot of... I don't really want to change this very much from where it is. Let me do some like Struzen-esque rendering here. Anytime I use like jagged pencily lines, I'm like Drew Struzan. I think another big, I mean, not a big reason, but another thing that I've sort of became conscious of the other day, because I was getting so many questions about some process that I was using, and obviously, like, I've shared probably as much of my process as anybody. But every now and then, I just want to be like, figure this out. And not, you know, not use the safety of layers and not, you know, try to do something that is not easily or as easily duplicated. Which requires having a little bit of ego. But I thought about it because I was listening to Marquez Brownlee, the tech YouTuber. I've been watching him since he was in his bedroom, in college. And he was talking about the how much he had spent on this robot that does camera shots. Like, you program it to you program it to do a move, and then it'll do that. It'll repeat that move over and over for like motion capture or cool angles or whatever. And they asked him, like, you mind sharing how much this was? And he's like, $250,000 or something. Like, it was so insane how much it was. But when you're working at like his level, which I'm not trying to equate the two, but it was about creating, differences in him and all of his competition. And I like that concept. This is such a strange color palette. I don't know what to think about it. I keep going back and forth on this little area. I don't want it to come forward too much. It's really in shadow. I'm going to put a new levels adjustment on top of this and pump this up quite a bit. Just increase the contrast. To say, how high can I go with this and it still looks cool? Probably getting a little bit too. That is way too green, probably. Let me see what this looks like. That's not too bad. I'm just using an overlay layer here to tint this stuff a little bit yellow. You make the best live shows ever. Thank you for this. Always learn something new. One man show. What a show. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you, Paolo. I appreciate it. I think I like it. I'm off. Have a great one, everyone. Yeah, I think I'm going to be done soon also. This is about as much as... And it's probably overdone a little bit. But I think I like it. And if you missed the Goblin, there's the Goblin. I'm curious... I want to see. Yeah, like if it wasn't a like recognizable superhero, I was just playing around with some gradient maps. Some of these are really out there. That's basically the Daredevil palette. I was just curious to see. Yeah, almost all that stuff like looks at least somewhat cool. I dig it. Both look amazing. Yeah, here they are. Here's both. I guess we can open them up side by side. This one's I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I like this trick with Daredevil. I'm gonna have to play with that some more. But any questions, comments before we wrap this up? Happy to answer any questions you have about this or anything else for that matter. Still wanted Daredevil red, but it looks so cool that I'm questioning myself now. He is red. He's mostly red. It's just his highlights are green and yellow, or appear to be green and yellow. He just needs to be the reddest thing on the page. Who was it that gave me that advice? It may have been Dave Stewart. One time I got a... I can remember the page. It was a page from Glitter Bomb. And he's like... He said, is there a reason that her shirt should come so far forward? And I said no. He said he's like, it really looks like it's coming forward quite a bit. And he was right. Like, it was the only thing that color in the panel. And so he's like, if you want her shirt to be purple, it just has to be the most purple thing on the page. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be like saturated purple. You know what I mean? This is years and years ago. I don't know half of what I know now. But it's the only time I ever got to I got a review from him, but it was awesome. And but yeah, as long as it reads as red, then it doesn't necessarily have to be red. But you mean the highlights? Yeah, this is a very like graphic-y, you know, not realistic necessarily thing, which I don't do a ton of, but I'm trying to do more of. Probably could have done this whole series in 2 colors like that. I got a bunch of these. I think I have. Maybe we'll do one more. I'm still early on my stream. It's only been an hour and a half. Let's see. Where is that at? Stream ideas. There we go. Maybe we'll do one more real quick. There's a rhino and a moon knight. Let's do this. This will be faster. The other thing I've been wanting to like, let me save this. But yeah, the other thing that I've been wanting to kind of play around with is the idea of coloring. It's not a new idea, I don't think necessarily, but the idea of coloring under a gradient map with black and white, or gray tones, I mean. So like for example, let me put some colors down here. So like here's white and gray and like a dark color. This is just to show you what I'm talking about here. And put a gradient map on top of it. And basically only work. I'm trying to find something that's a little bit interesting here. I was trying to get a decent base to start with. Yeah, none of these are really fantastic or anything. But yeah, basically putting a gradient map on top of everything. For example, this one, let's say. And then only working in values underneath, which are, you know, going to give you a big range of colors without having to choose any colors. I don't know. It's something that would be a fun experiment at some point. I don't know if this is a good example of it, but I guess you get the idea. Cheers for the stream. Headed to bed. Yeah, it looks like some people are leaving. You guys want me to do one more, or you want to wrap it up? It's up to you. Whatever y'all want to do. Move this over here. Really like his tones. I would like to see one more. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and select the silhouette here real quick. And we'll select his silhouette. If this wasn't for fun, I would take a little bit more time. Make this. It's pretty close. This might be a good chance to answer a question. I got a comment the other day on a video, and I can't remember which video it was, but it was asking about how I do color sketches, or how I plan like the initial color schemes. And I don't think, I mean, I have tons and tons of videos on a million different ways that I choose colors, but I don't think I've done one exactly on that. This might be a good, well, it's not, it might be a decent example for that. Are you guys hearing that ticking? Or is that just in my head? Hoping that's not coming through. It's driving me nuts. And Daredevil with the bluish background, would it have been the same? It had a really different feel. Because, let me grab this real quick. So like oh, I guess I would need to do that on a... Yeah, I mean, the colors themselves like matter, but they don't matter more than the value differences. But like almost anything that is dark enough and different enough from the red is gonna look decent. You know, it just depends on, you know, the tone. Like we could crank up the saturation and make this like really bright. Like the shapes are strong. Like the composition's really strong. So like I honestly think like you could almost do anything back here, as long as there was enough separation between the foreground and the background. It doesn't really matter how much difference there is. Like I was going for, you know, like a very vibrating, that's not a word, but like a very like high intensity color scheme, you know, like going with a really saturated green, a really saturated red. I don't know if that's something I'd have been able to do 3 years ago, 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. So yeah, it just, as long as there are differences, it really doesn't matter what the differences are. Trying to figure out what color I want to do this. Is it not a different color? I'm so confused. Hold on one second. Something's not... The tolerance is at 14. There we go. I'm like, why is that not picking that color? I know they're close together, but they're different colors. So like, for example, on this, like if Rhino is gray, then literally, you know, any color around the color wheel is going to look decent because, you know, gray is in the middle. It's going to cool off if you put, you know, if I choose a cool color, or like, you know, like this blue, then the grays warm up a little bit. And if I choose a darker color, or not a dark color, but a warmer color, they tend to cool down a little bit. Like grays are very flexible when it comes to that. So it doesn't really matter how you get there. As long as there are differences. I know I've said that a couple times, and I'm beating a dead horse, I guess, at this point. But that's how I think about it. The Gravy Cat. You are awesome. Keep up the excellent content. Emojis, emojis, emojis. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Where do I want to start this? Tell you what, let's start. do a lot of things on this. I really don't know if I need to do anything to this. Like I'm coloring it's just gonna mess it up. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that, like, I know I make this joke all the time, but like, yeah, I could just like spill coffee on it and turn it in. Good to go. Well, if I like this or not. Maybe. Tell you what, my stomach is flip-flopping right now. I've got to get something to eat. But yeah, here's what we'd finished today. I might have to do Rhino later. And one last call, questions? Anything you guys need to know? Anything pressing or not pressing? Any coloring problems stumped you this week? Don't see anything, or the chat's behind. But if you are watching still, I appreciate everybody coming today. This has been a lot of fun. Hope you picked up something. Hope you learned something. And I have courses. They're half off. There's a coupon for half off in the description. If you want to learn how to color with Clip or Procreate or Photoshop, or learn about color theory or whatever, there's a lot of stuff in there. And what else? Click buttons. I have a question. Why do birds live here? What does the carpenters have to do with this, Chris? I know you've shared this like a dozen times, but can you go over your fill bucket settings? I don't know if I have. Fill bucket. Where's it at? Uncheck everything. They're very complex. Just uncheck all of it. I'm not using any trickery or anything there. Trying to think of what you might be thinking of, but no, yeah, nothing fancy going on there. All right. Well, I guess that's it for this week. Thank you all again. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment, click a button, click any button, and I'll see y'all next week.